Hello everyone, welcome to Coding Hacks. In this video, I am going to explain the challenges that we face when use microservice architecture. In the last video, I have explained the basic concepts of microservice. If you haven't watched my previous video, then please find the link in the description. So in this video, I am going to highlight some challenges. The one main common challenge of microservice is data management between services. When I say data management, I am talking about the way in which we store data inside of a service and how we communicate that data between different services. Here, I showed a separate database for each service that we had created. So whenever we are making use of microservice, we are going to create a separate database for each service if the service actually needs a database. Now, that might sound really strange, but going to give you a very good reason behind it in a couple of moment. Now, let me also show you how we access data, and once again this is going to be a little bit strange to access data. Here I am not going to tell you exactly how we are going to access data. However, I am going to tell you how we shouldn't access the data. So we are never going to access data by reaching from one service to another service database, and once again I am going to give you a good reason for this in just a moment. Okay. So in total, here are two big kind of surprising facts that I have now mentioned. First is each service is going to get its own database if it needs one. And secondly, services are never going to reach into another services database. Now, let me tell you why we are going to do this. First, I want you to understand that this whole idea of giving every service its own database is also known as a pattern, and that pattern is called database per service. So, as you would expect, that just means every service has its own database. Here are a couple of reasons to create separate database. The first and biggest reason is that we want every service we create to run independently of other services. So let me show you a quick diagram to help you understand why giving each service its own database is going to help with that. In this example, let's imagine these two services are going to use a common database. So, if because of any reason this database is going to crash, that it will directly hamper both the services that are dependent on it. I mean to say that if for any reason we lose this database, then it will going to delete or just lost our services, which will result in no service. Let's take another example to understand the concept of it. In this example, there is a service 1, service A, which has dependency on service B as it is fetching data from DB of service B. So for example, if we make a request, then feature of service A just want to fetch the data from DB of service B. Now, for example, because of any reason, the DB of DB, thus database of service we get lost, then due to failure of that service, we are not going to get any response in service A, as a result of which the service A will automatically get failed. Hence, it is a good practice to create a separate DB for an individual service. Now let's talk about the next reason. The next reason that we have this database per service pattern is that the schema or structure of a database might change unexpectedly. So, quick example of this as well. I want you to imagine for a second that we have got a service A reaching directly to the database of service B. And again, this is not what we want. I am giving you an example of why we should not do this. As in this example, service A is making request to database of service B to get the details of a user. In response, we are getting a key, for example, username with the value John. and this is what we are getting from database of service B. Now let's consider a case where the developers of service B had decided to change the response type or the key which we are getting in response from it. I mean, let's change this key with name. Now instead of username which we initially getting, now we are getting name only, and this is something the service B hadn't mentioned to the service A, as a result of which now service A will get unexpected result which will result in a failure. Let's move to the another reason of using this pattern. The last reason is that some services might work well with different type of databases. I mean here is that let's take an example of an e-commerce where in order to store the details of a product we prefer to use NoSQL than SQL, because NoSQL is schemaless and we can store different type of properties in NoSQL quite easily. However, to store the user profile, it is good to go for SQL. So, in order to use different kind of databases, it is good to create separate database for an individual microservice. So that's it from this video. In the upcoming video, I am going to discuss the data of microservices, yeah, or how we handle data in microservices. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.